Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce sends a message to the world. I'm feeling good. And Bad Mind is active towards Michael Johnson and Grand Slam track. And the world's greatest female sprinter all time breaks down point by point how you can run faster. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Go ahead, please hit the subscribe button so we continue to grow. You do that, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. We drop a video at least once a day here in Peter Lloyd World. Also, enjoy the content. Please hit that like button and finally leave your thoughts. So, ready? Yep. Good to go. Well, she is the greatest female sprinter all time, and he is the former Olympic Tokyo 2020 men's 110-meter hurdles gold medalist. We are speaking about Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce and Hansel Parchment. Both are brand ambassadors for the world-famous Jamaican company, Grace Foods. Now, in a question and answer segment, both athletes were asked, I thought, very, very important questions regarding their career, etc. And I'm going to run this for you for a little bit because both answered, I thought, really, really relevant questions that young upcoming athletes should take a note of. And I do know that many young athletes do come to watch our videos here at Peter Lloyd World. We know this for a fact. First up, Hansel Parchment talks about distractions and him being male. And then Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce pointedly breaks down how athletes can run faster. I mean, literally, blow by blow. This is the most detailed I've ever heard any athlete describe how one can improve one's sprinting to get faster. Take a listen.
You decide, no, I'm going to keep working.
You see, I feel like as men, we're a little bit more distracted than the women. And I've had quite a bit of distraction along the way. You know, that's why I always try to talk to all the young athletes and tell them, listen, I've done these things, stay away from this kind of people. Keep the type of people you want to keep in your circle is the type of people who want to advance themselves. You know, people like Shelly, you want to spend more time around the people who are forward thinking, people who want, you know, reach a certain place in their life.
It's a different. Outside of track and field, I'm sure there are moments in my life when I wanted to give up. Outside of track, you know, when I was younger, when I was in Waterhouse and in high school, there are a lot of moments I wanted to give up because of the environment and just how hard it was to really see yourself in the future. So in that instance and other things, I would say I've had moments where I felt like I wanted to give up. But when it comes to track now, honestly, I've had difficult moments in track. Moments where I feel like it's hard, but because I am so driven and because I am so focused, giving up is not an option for me, right? So I understand the hard times come and, you know, it's gonna be difficult to overcome.
My question is how to become a better sprinter.
Alright, how to become a better sprinter? Honestly, that's Alright, so I believe I'm a natural sprinter, right? From I was in high school or primary school, I went to school, and I remember when I went to Woolman's, I was in first form, and Mr. Carr said everybody's gonna try different events. So some people went over to the high jump hurdles, and the coach, I remember Mr. Carr saying to me, no, you just stay right there, you're a sprinter. And I was like, alright, so I'm a sprinter. So in order to become a better sprinter, there are things that you have to do that's important. You have to generate a lot of power, so you have to do a lot of power-based exercises because power is going to help with your sprinting, right? It's going to help with your explosiveness. So you have to pay attention to like the plyometric work that you get that coach give you, you know, jumping off the box or jumping on the box or, you know, bounding, depth jump, stuff like that's going to help build your power. And I think in terms of speed as well, nothing don't help with speed like speed. Right? So if you go to training and you get speed work, you have to do speed work. So if the coach says, okay, then you have some 60 meters, you have some 80 meters, you have some 100, you have some 120, some 150, you have to run them with speed. right? You can't focus on the slow twitch muscles. You have to focus on the fast twitch muscles, right? And also what is important is the over distance, because for a lot of people, you have the speed, but you can't maintain that speed, or you can't carry it forward, right? Which is why over distance is so important for sprinters, the 150, the 250, which we don't like, but it helps. Because if you know, when it comes to sprinting, when you start out of the blocks and you're driving, there's a reason why you have a drive phase. Your drive phase is to make sure that you're building up enough power that when you get past the 30-meter mark, you can get up and you can start lifting and hitting the ground, and that's where your power comes in. That's where you start to generate enough force, and your contact on the ground is supposed to be very light, quick touches, right? When you get to 80 meters, 90% of people in the race bust. Because it's about your speed, endurance, and how long you can hold that. And usually a lot of persons will hold it up to 80%, up to 80 meters, and then the last 20 meters requires you now to relax and focus on your technique and go forward, your form, right? And just hold that. Your speed endurance will help that as well, because you won't feel tired, because everybody's gonna start decelerating. But you're gonna stop yourself from decelerating quickly if you focus on your speed endurance, which is your 150s, your 180, your 200. So I would say if you want to become a true sprinter, you have to focus on your speed endurance. You have to focus on your plyometrics, your power exercises, your bounding. Try to do a lot of things with a lot of power. And squatting, power, and clean, power. Everything that I do, I incorporate speed in it. But then speed is one thing, but you're making sure that you're also doing it with speed, but the right technique. Which is why your background season is so important. Your background season is the time you focus on correcting the exercise, correcting posture, so that when it's time to run fast, you're not running fast and correcting.
So now I know that that segment was a little long, people, but I really left that up for the young athletes who do come here. The truth is, both Hans and Parchment, the first part of the video, they talk about distractions, wanting to give up, etc. I think all of that is relevant in terms of wanting to be able to run your fastest. But then that second part, where Shelly-Ann literally breaks down, I mean, this is the most detailed. An athlete could literally take this and use it as a blueprint for getting faster. I have never heard an athlete at this caliber break it down that fundamentally. She gave you could not, no one listening to this could say you didn't have the answer to that question. How do you run faster? And of course, Hans is saying, don't get distracted, etc. And her saying, giving up is not an option. Says a lot about her personality. Anyway, I just thought you all may find that interesting, particularly the younger athletes who I know who come here.
Introducing Peter Lloyd World merchandise, where style meets comfort. From trendy tees to cozy hoodies, we've got something for everyone. Elevate your wardrobe with our high-quality, fashionable designs that make a statement. Whether you're hitting the streets or chilling at home, Peter Lloyd World has you covered. Shop now and upgrade your look with Peter Lloyd World merchandise. Available exclusively at Peter Lloyd World. Link in description below.
So in the 1990s, if my memory serves me correctly, BIDEO Man put out a song called Bad Mind is Active. And for those of you who are not Jamaicans, you might not understand the concept of bad mind, but bad mind is kind of like jealousy, envy, not wishing someone well kind of thing, hoping for the worst for another human being. And let me tell you something, people. I just saw something a while ago regarding Michael Johnson Grand Slam track. And may I tell you, people that are straight bad mind, it's just bad mind. I disagreed with everything the person said. Now, for those who don't know, if you're living on the rock, I'm going to still break it down to you. Grand Slam track, the inaugural event of Grand Slam track took place in Kingston, Jamaica the past weekend. And it attracted some of the best in the world, best Jamaican sprinters, best American sprinters, Sidney McLaughlin, who is just legendary. And it is at this point the highest paying event in the history of track and field in terms of monies earned. Those who won walked away with as much as 100,000 US dollars. Both athletes would compete in their specialty as well as another. So let us say Cindy McLaughlin's specialty is the 400 meters hurdles. She would compete in that with the other competitors, and then she would run the 400 meter flat. Of course, she won. Danielle Williams ran the 100 meter hurdles, which is her specialty, and then she also ran the 100 meter flat. So that's the idea. The combined total of points would make it a winner. Here comes second, third, fourth. But the fact of the matter is, athletes made so much money from this event, and although the first day it was not well supported because it was just too early on a Friday in Jamaica, the Saturday and the Sunday got good reception. Was it awesome? But it was good enough.
At the close, was probably pretty surprised to see Williams accelerate past her in the middle of the race like that. High knees. She looks like a good 100-meter runner. She's got a good frame for it.
I mean, several Jamaicans and the visiting athletes walked away with massive sums of money, 100,000. Russian Clark made 50,000 US dollars. Some made 30,000 US dollars. Some made, basically every athlete who ran walked away with millions of Jamaicans of dollars. Which means that this is the highest paying event. All the athletes were very pleased. No athlete complained, because who's going to complain? Because people, I've said this to you before, athletes, they're pro athletes in Europe who have to have a 9-to-5 job because it just doesn't pay them enough money. And this is a business. They need to earn. So I put out a video saying Grand Slam track and field as you know it, died Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Grand Slam track. It is ending. That time has gone. Athletes who now see capacity to really earn real money, you have to do no 9-to-5 job. You can just be an athlete, make your money from the thing that you love. I'm telling you, it's over. And I'm praying that Michael Johnson continues to do this, and his team.
Cindy McLaughlin here in Kingston. Just won the first slam. Can't wait for the next one.
Can't wait for the next one. People, the athletes love this. The fans love it. We loved it. And of course, there were a few mistakes. The mistakes being, I think Michael Johnson and his team didn't understand the psyche of Jamaicans. Many Jamaicans told me point blank, Friday was just too difficult. It started too early. People transitioning from work, etc. So there was no way they would have gotten to the stadium. And by the time they would have gotten to the stadium, because the entire event took place in less than 2 hours, they would have missed the event. So nobody would have paid him. Saturday, all the Grand Slam, the Grand Slam was itself free, meaning for the bleachers segment. It was still too early, so sun was hot. So many persons said, Mr. Peter, it's hot like fire. We can't come out here. But in terms of engagement globally, athletes are excited, people are excited, everybody's excited. No one has come on this channel and had a complaint. People have DM'd me, people have stopped me on the road because I'm here in Jamaica right now, and everybody's happy. And the athletes, they were dancing for the money. People, $100,000, $50,000, $30,000, $20,000, $10,000. People came 7th and 8th, walked away with money. Enough money. So I want this to work. Now, here's the bad mind. Diamond League founder Patrick Magyar posted this on his LinkedIn about Grand Slam track, and then the person who wrote the article said, this is really petty. Petty is a nice way of putting it. This is a bad mind. This is the gentleman himself, Patrick Magyar. From Grand Slam to Grand Flop, a lesson in what not to do with athletics. Article written by Patrick K. Magyar. It took just one competitive day for the much hyped Grand Slam track series to prove it is not the future of track and field. It's a flop. In fact, Grand Flop track might be a more accurate name. He then breaks down his reasons. What did we see? Boring, lifeless competitions, long stretches of nothing happening, and perhaps most tellingly, a completely empty stadium. This in Kingston, the capital of one of the world's greatest track and field nations. Now, I understand that as a founder of the Diamond League and former meet director of Zurich, still the world's most prestigious meet, I might be accused of bias, but here's the thing. I haven't held a role in international athletics for nearly 10 years. I've stayed silent for years because I've always found I've stayed silent for years because I've always found those has-beens with loud opinions more irritating than helpful. But in this case, some perspective is warranted. And I agree with him. Some perspective is warranted. So let me break this down to you, sir. As I stated earlier in the video, what happened with the stadium Friday, the event happened too early. That's all. It happened too early. And it was like an hour and a half to 2 hours. So by the time people would have gotten from work, because they would have had to get from work to get to the national stadium, by the time they would have navigated all of that, the event would have been over. So not many people would have come. Everybody was excited based on what they observed, what they saw in terms of the streaming. Saturday, they had a very good audience. Sunday, very good audience. It could have been better again because the miscalculation with Johnson and his team, again, too early. Bleachers had like fire people. So if the event started at 7 o'clock in the night, the bleachers would have been full. And what they did is they said bleachers would have been free up until 5:30. At that point, it would have been very, very hot. Now, people did still come out because they wanted to support the junior athletes. The third mistake, I believe, miscalculation on their part, was because they had the event 1 week after Champs, which is the biggest track and field event to me outside of World Athletics Championship and Olympic Games. So, which would also mean tie-in for that the money that people had spent to go to Champs, they would have had to try and find a way. I mean, Jamaica is not necessarily a country where everybody has that access to 200 US that easily. So that might have been another miscalculation. But on the other side, the athletes made money, real money. The person who came 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th walked away with thousands of US. A much better state than doing Diamond League. And look, I enjoy the Diamond League. But you cannot be a top 10 athlete in the world in an event. And you have to do a 9-to-5 job. Because that's the only way to supplement what you're doing. That's insanity. And I don't know if you know this, sir, but it's not why people come. It's not the board of directors of Diamond League why the people go to watch Diamond League. They go to watch the stars. They go to watch the athletes. So I believe if you're in the top 10 in the world, top 20, you're supposed to make some money. Yeah, so to me, this is bad mind, and I think you're expressing not pettiness, but fear. Because all the athletes were dancing for the 100,000 US. So I don't know what fantasy world you're living in, but let me tell you something, sir, as a mere fan of track and field. Track and field has changed, and you have to step up. You have to start paying the people them some real money. Real money. You can't have big Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce and Elaine Thompson-Herah and these other people come here and the winning prize at 10,000 US, 20,000 US. By the time they pay them team and them whoever, they don't have the money. So yeah, I don't care what you say, Diamond League will have to find some real money and fast. No matter what you say. So yes, sir, it's bad mind and it is fear and to some extent pettiness. So you're not being involved in track and field for 10 years, it's of no consequence. You started it and you're terrified because you must understand what you saw. People are dancing so for the 100,000 US. People come from 7 and 6 and walk away a couple million Jamaican dollars. What are you talking about? Michael Johnson, don't stop. Anyway, let's get to the next video. Yes, sir, your bad mind and your bad mind active. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce dropped this one about 2 days ago. Now let me break it down to you. In 1965, Nina Simone, one of the greatest recording artists of all time, covered a track called Feeling Good. Now the song was on her 1965 album, I Put a Spell on You. Now anybody who knows anything about music or Nina Simone knows that this is one of her biggest hits. Feeling Good is a song written by the English composers Anthony Newley and Leslie Bricusse. It was first performed in 1964 by Cy Grant. Now, why I talk about that is that Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce put out this compilation, like a compiled video of some of her accomplishments, And the underlying theme song is I'm Feeling Good. Now, you all know, if you're a regular here at Peter Lloyd World or you know anything about YouTube, I can't just play tracks because I will get what you call copyright claims, meaning I don't have the right to play these people's songs. So I'm going to use a little snippet, hopefully, but I think many of you don't know the song. And if you don't know it, go check out Nina Simone's version of I'm Feeling Good. It's an incredible track. And I think Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is sending a message to the world with this song, because this is the underlying music for this video clip. Okay? I think she's saying, but I know she's saying I'm feeling good, which says she's in good shape. She feels as if she's on the right path, and again, she's going to be a danger. Listen. Now, this, of course, is my 2 cents. I'm going to keep saying it until I'm blue in the face. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is the greatest female 100-meter sprinter all time. Third fastest all time. Most medal all time in terms of the 100 meters. She's just a force of nature. She's reshaped the game over and over again. I don't want to get into all of that. And, of course, we're all concerned about what kind of state she'll be in for the 2025 outdoor season. This song, she doesn't just do things. She's very, very calculated, herself and her team. And using the theme song, I'm Feeling Good, is a very direct message to her competitors across the globe, and to her fans here in Jamaica and across the entire globe, because she has millions of fans. I'm feeling good. I'm hoping that I'll be able to let you hear those few seconds of the song. At the very beginning, it was about 5 to 6 seconds. I'm Feeling Good by Nina Simone, done in 1965. But if you don't know it, go Google the song and listen to the song. She's saying she is ready to take on the world again. And that's a good sign. As long as, I've said it before, as long as she's injury-free, she's dangerous. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Now, don't forget to support us. Check out our merch store at printify.com. We found out that there's an issue with the merch store, so we're going to have that resolved right now. Some people have been DMing us and saying they're not getting access to the merch. That's going to be resolved by the time the video comes out, people. So you can go ahead and support us. Thank you for those who have inquired and those who have already bought merch. Also, consider joining our membership. I tell you, we're going to make some changes about that with that very, very soon. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and hit the like button. Let me know if you think the song I'm Feeling Good is a statement by Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce to her competitors, her friends, and her fans across the globe. And you think it's Bad Mind, the gentleman who founded Diamond League? Because I think it is. I think he's terrified, because I don't know about you people, but people like money. Yeah. And if I have a choice between running for $10,000 or $100,000, I think I'm going to be choosing $100,000. What do you think? And finally, that breakdown, blow by blow, of Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce as to how to run faster. I want every young athlete who comes here to watch this go through that part of the video repeatedly. It is an incredible breakdown of the process. You are royals, kings and queens. Bless us.